Hi. So I was asking some questions on some of the groups that I'm part of, and the most commonly asked question is what causes stalls? Stalls are caused by a lot of different factors, and they can be fixed in a variety of ways. Not every way is going to work for every person. Not every cause is true for every person. Meds. Some people, like I at one point did have meds that caused weight gain. I had some meds that when I started taking them within the first 2 weeks, I gained 10 pounds. I talked to my doctor, weaned myself off of them, lost the 10 pounds in almost no time. It just built up, I guess, water weight or something. It just caused it to hold on. So if you have medications that cause weight gain, see if you can switch to something better, or just understand that it's something that you're going to have to deal with, something you're going to have to work around. Whenever you get this surgery, weight loss is going to be excellent for the first 2 months, give or take a little bit. You might lose about a pound a day or so, and it's going to look fantastic. You're going to be happy with it. And then in the third week, you have what I've heard referred to as the third week stall. Usually lasts about 5 to 10 days. This is completely normal and nothing to be overly concerned about. Your body has gone into shock, and it's essentially said, okay, let's stop all production, all movement, or at least a lot of it, and let's reassess what's going on here and see if we can figure out what the problem is. Then your body gets used to it, you start healing, and your body gets used to, as you get more hydration in, your body equalizes and it says, okay, let's continue. And it starts burning water weight and fat, and you continue your weight loss. As the water weight stops decreasing because you've equalized on water weight, you've lost as much water as you can stand and still be healthy, your body's going to start holding on to water because your body starts getting dehydrated. And with dehydration, your body decides, okay, we're in a crisis moment here. So it panics and starts holding on to as much water as possible, which can again cause you to stop losing weight or gain a little bit back. And that's over the course of those 2 months. Glycogen is one of the things that holds on to water. Each gram of glycogen in your body holds about 3 to 4 grams of water. The reason why you lose about 10 or more pounds in the first week is because you are essentially on a low to no carb diet. You're burning through your body's glycogen stores because your body needs to burn calories, and it's not replenishing them. You get glycogen from carb heavy foods. And so since you've pretty much, if you're doing what you're supposed to, you're cutting out all carbs, your body burns those glycogen stores, and there's not as much holding on to water, so you lose a significant amount of water weight. You'll probably notice that you're urinating a lot during those first few weeks. So once you get back to being able to eat carbs, and a lot of people say, well, I went back to it with no problem. Well, you're going to increase your amount of glycogen, which it's going to increase your amount of water retention, which is going to cause you to gain weight. Carbs are not great. You should eat some. You need some to keep glycogen, especially if you're exercising a lot and you're burning calories. That's a good place to burn calories. That's what glycogen is there to do, to hold on to water, to help you keep from being dehydrated. So you need some carbs, but stick to good carbs, dietary fibers, that sort of thing, instead of empty carbs that create lots of sugars. You should lose about half of the total weight you're going to lose in the first 4 months. After that, your weight loss slows. And you're going to notice it slowing, maybe even coming to a stop after 4 months briefly. or for an extended period of time, depending on a lot of factors. Um, Most people slow significantly after the first year. They slow down significantly or they stop. After about a year, your body starts reaching an equilibrium point where it decides this is where we're at. Men tend to lose faster than women. Women have hormones and genetic factors. Uh, the theory is that women are designed for childbirth. And with bearing a child, you have to have extra calories in order to sustain that new life. So, which is why once a month you retain water, you retain calories, and then after that you can lose more again. So your weight loss is probably going to be slowed at certain times of the month or regained, and that's just going to be the yo-yo effect that you're going to have. During premenstrual or your menstrual cycle, don't weigh yourself. Just wait until after it's over, then start going back, going back and taking stock of things, which is why I don't recommend you weigh any more than once a week. Your male, female, your weight's going to fluctuate over the weeks, especially after those first 4 months. So just don't torture yourself like that. If you were one of those people who barely qualified for surgery, you were just over the weight limit that insurance is going to back you, etc., you're going to lose less weight and slower than people who were very much qualified due to BMI. The heavier you are, the more weight you're probably going to lose because you have excess to to get rid of. Younger people are going to stall less often because younger people are more active than older people typically. Also, your body as it gets older, everything starts slowing down to a certain extent. So if you're 50 or over, you're going to 40, 50, 60 or over, you're probably going to lose less weight than someone who's in their 20s or 30s. If you have a medical condition that affects weight gain, you're going to have more trouble losing weight. I'm I have hypothyroidism, which causes weight gain. I might be struggling with a little bit more than the average man, and I've mentally prepared myself for that. I'm going to probably struggle with losing weight. I haven't so far with the pre-surgery weight loss, but it could come. Another big factor is as you're exercising and getting more activity than you're used to, you're going to gain muscle mass. Muscle is weightier than fat and water. So if you gain muscle and lose water, you're going to lose significantly more water, so you'll have more weight loss. Muscle gains faster than fat drops. So you're going to, as you're getting more active, you might notice that your weight gain slows, which is why I always suggest that you measure inches rather than weight. Weight can be deceptive. So your body is just adapting to this new normal, and you're constantly changing things, especially over those first 4 months. You're slowly increasing the amount of water you can consume. So your body has to adjust to that dehydration, then it has to adjust back to rehydration. And you're going to be getting significantly fewer calories. And then you're going to slowly increase the amount of calories. And your body is getting used to all these changes. And every so often it says, okay, everybody freeze. There's something new going on. You need to figure out what's happening here and readjust. You're going through a reorganization, and you're freaking your body out, and it's going to sometimes stop and take stock of its situation. Also keep in mind, it took a long time to gain this weight probably. It's going to take a long time to get rid of it. It is more difficult to lose weight than it is to gain weight. It takes sometimes a longer time and more effort. Be mindful of what you're eating. Record your meals. You probably did that before. I record all my meals on MyFitnessPal, and I'm constantly surprised by the foods that have high sodium, which causes water retention, that have lots of calories, that have lots of carbs, low protein, and just be mindful of it. I have to have 1,500 calories a day at my current weight to lose weight. And I'm losing weight fine at 1,500 calories. You will probably be getting between 600 and 1,200 calories while you're bringing yourself back to normal. And then suddenly you'll get back up to 1,500 calories. And as you're able to eat more, you'll just gradually increase your intake, and you're going to get up to 2,000, 2,500 calories. And no wonder we stall and start gaining weight back, because while we're not going quite back to full capacity, we are increasing the amount we eat enough that we start packing in that weight. Eat more produce, non-starchy produce. Decrease your potatoes, your carrots, anything that's high in starch, high in carbs, kind of watch those. But your green leafy vegetables, your broccoli, stuff like that, increase that. Early on, you can make them very soft or puree. And during the puree stage, you can puree them. Or whenever you get to the soft food stage, you want to really cook those, especially broccoli, highly fibrous ones. You want to cook those a great deal to get them mushy. Once you can go back to regular foods, you can have them normally. Try them, see if your body can take it. If it can't, keep steaming it, whatever, until boiling it, especially until you can get them into a decent consistency. You might notice that as you get your weight loss down, you might become more complacent and slow down your activity, and that's going to slow down your weight loss to almost nil or gaining weight again. Also, your body just simply gets used to the same exercises over again. Exercise different muscle groups, do different activities, change it up some if you have a stall. If you've been walking a lot and that's mainly your thing, and you're finding yourself walking more and having an easier time of it, well, your body's not burning as many calories to do that. Start working your upper body a little bit. Get a resistance band and work with that. Start working your legs. Start working your midsection if you can. If you've been working your arms in your midsection, find different exercises that work different muscles in your arms and midsection, different muscles in your legs, different muscles in your back, etc. Start finding different exercises that will cause you to burn calories in different ways. And that can help jumpstart things too, because you'll start burning more calories as you get more active in different places. Reduce your artificial sweeteners. A lot of people stick to the protein drinks a lot, and you'll notice most of them have artificial sweeteners like sucralose, saccharin, and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of those. Uh, some of the alcohol-based sweeteners I like a little bit more, but there's not been much research on them because they're fairly new. I use Swerve, which is based on monk fruit extract, which is a alcohol-based. It's not the kind of alcohol that's going to get you drunk, get you tipsy, or show up on an alcohol test. Has had that part stripped out of it, but it is alcohol based. The danger with that one is that some people are sensitive to it. One of my best friends, he gets a little tummy ache, but he said he would rather have the sugar and deal with the mild tummy ache. His wife has diarrhea. She's going to stick with what she used before, stevia, stevia is fine. I just don't like it. I think it's gross. But Some people don't mind the aftertaste, and some people actually like the taste of it, and that's fine, whatever works for you. Um, I have had monk fruit extract. I've had the alcohol-based sweeteners, and I have zero ill effects. And a lot of people are going to have no ill effects. I suggest trying it and seeing what it does in a limited dose, and seeing if you, I mean, if you can handle dumping, then you can handle this. It's not as severe as dumping, I don't think. It just makes you feel, from what I understand, makes you feel nauseous, may have stomach cramps, may have diarrhea, depending. So give that a shot and see how it works for you. Don't drink high caloric drinks. Don't drink fruit juices. Fruit juices are right out after this. Uh, Most of them add extra sugar. Even the ones that don't add extra sugar are highly concentrated and have a lot of extra preservatives added to them, and those can cause weight gain. They can also cause your sugar to spike even if there's no sugar added, because it's such a concentrated amount of natural sugars in a lot of ways. So I would avoid those. Ignore your BMI. BMI sucks. It is needed to get your medical clearance, but for people like me, I have dense bones. My doctor, my general practitioners told me that I should just ignore BMI altogether. It's used for medical clearance, for insurance, but it BMI is not a good scale, especially for me, because my frame is so large. It doesn't take into account bone density, it only takes into account height and weight. It doesn't take into account muscle strength. A lot of really muscular people would be morbidly obese. So that should tell you something. They have zero fat, they're highly muscular, and so they're for their height, they're at a decently high weight because muscle density is heavier. Only weigh once a week. Always do it at the exact same time of day. Best time to weigh, first thing in the morning. After a fasting, with the same clothes. Don't get fully dressed and then weigh, and then the next day weigh in your jammies, and the next day you weigh with only underwear. Your weight's going to fluctuate. Just use your common sense on that. Weigh with the same basic clothing, the same time, and before you have anything to eat or significant to drink. That way you'll have a baseline. I would even suggest measuring inches rather than pounds. Now, some people say, I measured my midsection around my belly button and it's not decreasing, but they measure their chest levels and it is decreasing. They measure their arms and they're decreasing. Your thighs, they're decreasing. You're going to lose the size in different places. I record a journal of chest, belly, thighs, biceps and triceps. Those are where I measure. I want to see if I'm decreasing in all four of those areas. You might have different results, but I would do that. How well do your clothes fit now? Are you needing to buy new clothes? Guys, don't start buying tons of new clothes until you've reached your year out. Just, you're gonna fluctuate in weight so much that you're gonna grow into or grow out of clothes as things fluctuate. Just a belt will become your best friend, folks. If you wear belts, wear belts. If there's any way for you to tighten your clothes to make them last a little longer, do that. But try to resist buying new clothes. Just see how things that you are normally fit. I have t-shirts I haven't been able to wear in years that I'm able to fit into right now, and I only see that getting better. I should be able to have my entire old wardrobe reopened to me by the time this is over, except for my stuff I wore in high school. When I was in high school, I was a very dangerous low weight. So I probably won't get into that, and I don't look forward to getting into that. So those are some basic ideas. Keep in mind, I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I'm taking all of my studying I've done from nutritionists, from doctors, from people's anecdotal evidence of what they've said has worked, and I've kind of put this together in one video. So take everything I've said with a grain of salt. Take it to heart. Your mileage may vary, of course. Let me know in the comments how it goes. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I read all the comments. I try to comment back. I try to not take the negative comments too seriously, but I try to take them to heart if they're constructive. So I will see you next time again. One more time, like, subscribe, all that good stuff that you usually hear. See ya.